Here at Lake Wales, on the highest point of the Florida Peninsula known as Iron Mountain, is Edward Bach's gift to the American people, the Singing Tower and the 120-acre mountain lake sanctuary surrounding it, described by Mr. Bach as a sanctuary for humans and birds. He hoped that the human visitors would pause a while, listen to the ancient music of the bells against a background chorus of bird songs, and absorb the peace and beauty that are here. A part of that beauty is the song of the mockingbird. Northern visitors particularly like to see and hear Florida's state bird. The most common woodpecker in the sanctuary is the red-bellied. The big trees that attract woodpeckers are numerous. Conspicuous proof that small birds do not necessarily have weak songs is the Carolina wren. This 6-inch bird has projection that would do credit to a metropolitan opera soprano. You'll hear more often than see this wren, though. It flits around in shrubbery and on the ground. The most talked about and photographed of all the birds in the sanctuary are the wood ducks. Brightly colored, usually shy and difficult to approach. Here they're totally unafraid because they find protection, food, and nesting sites in the many boxes placed in the trees for their use. A sudden flash of gold in the sunlight. The undersides of the yellow shafted flicker, wings reflecting the sun's rays with a breathtaking glow. The tufted titmouse comes regularly to the bird feeders in the sanctuary. Its sprightly notes remind northerners of the chickadees they've left behind. During the spring or early summer, the distinctive call of the great crested flycatcher is a dominating part of the bird song medley at the Mountain Lake Sanctuary. A dweller of the grassy fringes of the sanctuary is the eastern meadowlark. His far-reaching call is heard throughout his broad territory. Not much larger than a meadowlark is the bobwhite, a typical bird of southern fields and open brushland. Some people confuse this call with the cry of a young common crow, but he's the adult fish crow. If the blue jay were rare, we would seek it out and admire its wonderful color, but because it's seemingly the most common bird in the sanctuary, we hardly notice it. The jay makes sure it's heard, though. The rich, rufous plumage of the brown thrasher shows off to good advantage among the varying shades of green in the sanctuary. One of the most popular birds here is the cardinal. Their brilliant plumage is usually seen where shrubbery and underbrush afford the shelter and food that they require. Visitors enjoy taking their pictures at close range at the photo blind. The Parula warbler represents the many warblers that migrate through the sanctuary and the few that stay here. Few bird watchers fail to add it to their lists. Most sanctuary visitors never see the white-eyed vireo, but it's busily searching out insects in the shrubbery and now and then singing its un-vireo-like song. The sound of leaves being thrown about often reveals the presence of the rufous-sided towhee, a robin-like bird whose notes add variety and color to the bird chorus of this oasis in what's being termed the biological desert of orange groves that stretch up and down central Florida's ridge section. The abundant, flashy, red-headed woodpeckers. These woodpeckers nest in dead, long-leaf pines, which have been left standing for the benefit of cavity-nesting birds and mammals. The quavering call of the screech owl is usually a night sound, but often on overcast days, these tremulous, haunting notes are heard, sometimes barely audible. Evening approaches. The chuck-will's widow and the nighthawk join the chorus of voices as the intricate web of life continues through the night in the mountain lake sanctuary.